Alright, well, today on the homestead we're going to talk about muscadines a little bit. We raise three different varieties of muscadines here. So we have Carlos and Cowart and some Scuppernongs. And we're in the last day of January. And we're going to do some pruning. I just want to talk about that a little bit and show you kind of how we do it here. So if you look at the vine, this is the end of the vine. This is our trellis system that we have here. We're going to be redoing a lot of this and shoring this up in the next couple weeks. These vines are 4 years old, so they've been pruned a few times, but you can see the different varieties, growths and things. This here is a Carlos. They're very sweet, really good eating muscadine. In this part of the country here in South Central Arkansas, they grow really good. So I just want to talk about where to prune, how to prune, and kind of how I've done it. And these have grown really good. We have really sandy loam here, so this sandy soil had no problems getting them to grow, and they just flourish every year. So anyway, if you look at these vines, you can see where last year's fruit was on, and you can see the nodes that are on here. Generally, when I'm looking at this, I'll come at least 2 nodes down. I'm generally a little bit more liberal with my pruning. I might leave 3. A lot of guys will go down to 1 or 2, but usually I'll leave 3. So just right in front of that outside node. Of course, this year you'll see the fruit comes on this year's growth, every new year's growth. So when you're looking at this, your new growth will come off of these, just like this growth came off last year, and this is where your fruit will be. Just as here, last year we pruned here. This all grew last year's growth, and of course this is where the fruit was. So I'm going to take this back. Like I said, I'm a little bit more liberal, so I'll come out here to the end to that node. 1, 2, prune that off, and then I'll come up here to this node. It's kind of up to you how much. Now you can't have over fruiting, so you can't have an overabundance. So it's kind of up to you. When it gets real congested at the end of the vines or somewhere down there where there's a lot more growth, you can come in and do some structural pruning to kind of limit some of that. These haven't got that far to me yet for me to really be too worried about that, but you will see that when it gets congested, you'll have like an overabundance of fruit right here on this end, and kind of stress them pretty good. One thing you can do to help that too is when you have these spurs come off, you could eliminate this one here so you don't have extra growth. Like I said, these guys aren't too old to be worried about that too much to me right now, but so I'm going to go ahead and leave those splits, and then we'll get some new muscadines off that this year. This guy's kind of growing back into everybody else, so I'll cut him back some. And of course, you want to wait until, always wait till the dead of winter to do this. Today's an abnormally sunny day for January, so it's a really good day to kind of get out, get this done for the year. You just want to make sure they're all the way dormant before you do it. It's usually why I'll wait till the middle of the year or middle of the winter to get this done. You can see like this one here that's growing back into the vine. I'll eliminate it back to where I did last year. See if we can get it this year to grow without growing back into itself, and come out here and produce us some muscadines. And it's kind of tedious, but once you get it done, you're good for the rest of the year, unless you do have some overgrowth and you're wanting to do some pruning during the growing season. I haven't had that happen yet, but you can have them get so heavy that you're having to shore them up. That's another good example of last year's prune, last year's growth, where the fruit was. I'm gonna hit that one back just a little bit more. you're thinking about getting muscadines, just make sure you're looking at what grows good in your area. Normally, almost everywhere in the South, they grow good. You know, take the time to do your soil test. It really makes a big difference. Save you some time on getting these guys going and keeping them healthy. As far as predators, we hunt with dogs a lot, and so we have dogs not far from here. I haven't had any trouble with raccoons. I know a lot of guys that do. What we have mostly problems with here is birds. So we just took the netting down. So birds is kind of our biggest problem. So you really got to get on top of that before they become a problem. You can have birds come in and decimate your crop pretty fast once they find it. When they figure out where it is, it doesn't take them long to cause you some real heartache. It's all the time and fertilizer and things you spent prepping your soil and all that. They can come in and really take a toll on the crop. So with a little bit of prep work and anticipation of some of those problems, you can help out a lot being on top of your predators. Also, I haven't had any issues besides year one with disease. You do have some different diseases and mildew problems and stuff that you can get depending on your climate. I have had Japanese beetles that have came through and some other little worms and things. That's why it's really important that you get out here and look at them as they're growing, especially as they really start flourishing in the spring. It attracts a lot of those problems with insects and different issues. So I have got everything taken care of that I've found so far as insects with Liquid 7. Don't really recommend 7 dust. It's really hard on your honeybee population. I've been a beekeeper before, and that 7 dust kills bees. So Liquid 7 at night or right at dusk is what I've had the most luck with. Anyway, we're going to redo these, and we'll make another video as we redo this trellis. These guys got really heavy last year with a lot of fruit, so we had to shore this up, and we're going to pour some concrete and get them back up and get them strong and ready for this year, because I anticipate another big year as far as production. Anyway, we're going to keep going.